Next one's from Mike Fegan. The subject is Scott Steiner's health. Once Brad Shepard broke the exclusive news about Scott Steiner's heart attack and impact, it got me thinking about you Konnan, the time you got slapped around like a bitch by his brother Rick Steiner. Right. So what I want to know is how come Konnan is this keyboard warrior tough guy and all talk and not willing to face people man to man? You deem yourself to be a tough guy and yet you don't fight back. And I speak for everyone when I say R.I.P. Scott Steiner, a true legend. Scott Steiner didn't die, did he?
No, Scott Steiner did not pass away. Mike Fegan.
Yeah, so Mike Fegan had a very horrific, tasteless email here by saying R.I.P. Scott Steiner. Who
is this guy? Because I've heard you talk about him before.
He's the social justice where it's in the
the guy that
channel,
the YouTube. Yeah. So you want to cut a promo on him?
Nah, bro. Do you remember that match where, I don't know if you ever saw this match where Scott Steiner, actually, we were like almost kind of like, when an amateur wrestler, like he had me mounted, like an amateur wrestler would be mounted on you, and Shane Douglas was supposed to come out, and he was taking forever to come out. As a matter of fact, I think Russo was there when Russo was booking when this happened, and he was taking forever. So we were just there, and he was hitting me with these like side forearms. I don't know what you would call them, side to the face type of things. Yeah, and they were pretty stiff. But Rick is stiff, And then somebody came up to me and goes, "Hey man, Rick was pretty stiff," and I go, "Well, I don't." What else do you want? What else did you want him to do in that situation? And then I remember that I went up to him and I asked him, I go, "Bro, do we have heat or something?" He goes, "No." And I said, "All right." And I just left it at that. And then one time when we were in Puerto Rico, I had asked him, I go, "Bro, let me ask you a question. Do you remember that day that incident happened and that you had hit me on the side of the fights? Did we have heat, or did Eric tell you to do something like that to me?" And he was like, no, we didn't have any heat, so we never had any heat. You know what I'm saying?
There was a story back then, because if I remember right, it was like the last couple of months leading up to WCW closing. People say, well...
Yeah, it was around that time, yeah.
So people say, well, he stiffed Konnan, but there was other guys too. It was Hammer, Shane Douglas, you, and like one or two other guys, like in consecutive weeks where it looked like Rick was taking advantage or taking liberties or whatever. And the story was that you guys got together and said, on this last Nitro, we're going to just go out there and jump Rick and beat his ass on TV because it's not going to matter anymore because WCW is closing. That was one of the internet rumors back then.
I know. I didn't even know that happened with those other guys. And like I said, I talked to them in Puerto Rico and everything was cool. We've always been cool, I've never had any problem with Rick.